Alright guys, I'm just going to show you how to make a dubstep sound. It's a pretty classic dubstep sound. A lot of producers are using it these days. Flux Pavillion, Dr. P, you kind of hear it all over. So it's pretty generic. So let me show you what the sound sounds like, the one we're going to be making. Alright? So that's the sound we're going to be making, and then let's show you the start here. So when you go to Massive and you go to New Sound, you just get this sort of generic buzzing, which isn't very dubstep. It's not very heavy, not going to rock the dance floor. So go ahead and on the first filter, or your first oscillator, just go ahead and pick Dirty Throat. Move that into about this position, and then lower the pitch a couple octaves to about -24, and immediately you hear a difference in the sound. It's getting that grittiness. And so your mix, make sure you turn your mix all the way up to mix 1, and then your filter that you're going to apply is going to be a Daft filter. And the cutoff, just aim it to the C, the U, and grab an LFO. I just turn the sync on the restart, and I select the triangle waveform, and make sure your X fade, your curve, goes all the way up. And let's just do 1:4 ratio. And now we can apply that to our filter like this. Drag that up. And some of you might have this sound. You got to turn the resonance, turn that resonance up on the filter here. And now we're going to apply on insert 1. Let's check the routing on insert 1. I want it to be after the, yeah, there we go, after the filter. So go back to your insert down here. Make sure it's selected and turned on, and then we go to sample and hold, and we just turn that all the way to wet, and we turn the pitch all the way up, and we sort of play with the sound. So we get that sort of talking sound that we want. And then what I like to do a couple things is I like to add a classic tube. It just adds some grittiness to the sound. So I mean, you can, from this point, you can really just start messing with the sound, changing it the way you want. And then to add some stereo field goodiness, I like to add some a dimension expander. But don't add too much, because then it'll do weird things in the mix. It'll kind of sit weird. So and then you can add more grit. You can go down and add a hard clipper right here and insert 2, and turn it all the way up, and then turn the drive down a little bit. You'll hear this is with it off, with it on. And then what you can also do is you can add some more high end. If you want a little more high end on the sound, go and select your which one do we want to use? Polysaw 2, and then turn the amp all till it's facing up. Maybe we can bring that down an octave to see how it sounds. I mean, that sounds pretty good. You can basically throw that in a track now. If you mess with the LFO, you can get all sorts of different sounds. And then what you can do, you can turn the sync off. If you guys have a MIDI controller that has a fader or a knob on it, and you can right click and go to MIDI learn, and then move a knob, and now I'm controlling it with the MIDI controller, and I can sort of do that. And then if you want to go into voicing, you can change the voicing to mono and then legato. Let's do trill. And then another trick you can do is if you go to oscillator here and, or is it voicing? Let's see. Yeah, you have some glide on there. You can turn the glide up for some effects. And then the pitch bend, I like to do 12 and negative 12, and so when I do the pitch bend, I get some nice range, some nice motion, and I can just sort of mess around. And yeah, you just sort of mess with the sound and throw it in a track. One thing you might want to do is if you come over here, you might want to do an EQ. Turn your analyzer on, and then maybe drop some of this low end out, because we can layer it with a sub. Maybe sparkle it up in the high end a little bit. And then we can also go to distortion and add a bit crusher. It just adds some griminess to the sound, but if you're going to do all that, you're going to want to go into and throw a compressor on and to keep it in check a little bit. I mean, but that's up to you guys. I hope this helped you guys. If you have any questions or a video request, just send a message my way, and hopefully I can help you out. All right, thanks guys.